The all-party parliamentary group on Hajj and Umrah held a private reception in the House of Lords to mark the occasion of the visit by the Mecca Chamber of Commerce delegation to London, United Kingdom. Lord Kuban Hussain hosted the reception on behalf of the APPG.
Tell us, how did the event today go? I think I think it's one of the first of its kind.
Well, it was a pleasure welcoming the delegation from Mecca. I was delighted to host them on behalf of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Hajj and Umrah. What the All-Party Parliamentary Group is trying to do is set up a three-way communication system between the consumers, the Hujjaj, the service providers, and the officials, so that we can see the journey of Hajj and Umrah to be as smooth as possible. And I'm sure that is the intention of the Hajj Ministry in Saudi Arabia and all the stakeholders. And today's event was very good. We had business people from Makkah as well as business people from UK, and we learned that under the Vision 2030, how many opportunities there are in Saudi Arabia for British investors to go and invest, as well as the Saudi investors coming into UK and having a look what opportunities there are here. I think there's a huge scope for both for business people from both countries to invest in each other's countries, and also make and our objective is to make the Hajj and Umrah journeys as smooth as possible, and I think we're all on the same page on that.
Fantastic. It sounds amazing when you put it like that, subhanAllah. So some of the discussions that we had then, could you maybe elaborate a little bit about what you touched upon, or is that something that you need to keep behind closed doors?
No, I think what we are trying to do is, with our discussions, with our feedback from the Hujjaj, to see where they're finding difficulties, or some of the information perhaps it gets misinterpreted or not understood properly, and therefore people go through some problems. And there are some genuine problems, such as the Hajj fraud. For example, in this country, there are some people have lost money through Hajj fraud, and what we are trying to do is make people aware that they must check which are the legally setups, the tour operators who have the right kind of legal documents. They should go with them and try to make them aware of the difficulties that they might face. And I think it's a very encouraging step forward, bringing all the stakeholders together and to see how we can improve the Hajj facilities and Umrah facilities.
This was the first visit by the delegation of over 40 businesses from Mecca. CBH UK, the Council of British Hajis, the Secretariat to the all-party group organised the event with support from UK-based businesses. USI Money, Usoft Solutions, Casper's Desserts and Stakeout. Rashid Mogradia is the founder and CEO of CBH UK and co-founder of the APPG. He is also listed as a trailblazer in the Muslim Power 100 for innovation within the UK Hajj and Umrah sector.
It's been an honour actually to host the delegation from the Makkah Chamber of Commerce. We were given a last-minute request to host them, and there's a range of around 40 businesses that came from Makkah, including many Hajj and Umrah tour operators. So as part of the parliamentary group that we have formed, the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Hajj and Umrah, where we act as secretariat to them, we hosted the delegation in the House of Lords.
And it sounds like it's been a very, very eventful day so far, and it probably still has to continue, I'm sure. How did you feel that the discussions went? Were they quite positive, and where do you see those discussions developing? What do you see them developing into?
This was a historic achievement in hosting the delegation for one from Makkah, but to see the diverse range of businessmen and women who are serving British pilgrims when they go out there, and pilgrims from all around the world, and how the Vision 2030 is fitting into the development of Makkah as a city. It brings about opportunities for bilateral trade agreements between British businesses and Saudi businesses. But most importantly, people will start to benefit from getting extra services from Saudi partners and from UK partners when they go out for Hajj and Umrah, which is a great achievement.
Mashallah, it sounds fantastic. So these additional services, will they be coming as a result of these, or will it be that the discussions will be had and suggestions will be made, but it'll be down to the tour operators themselves to provide it? Who will be responsible? Where does the responsibility lie for providing those services?
It's not so much about responsibility. The Saudi government has made it clear that they want to increase pilgrim numbers, and to do that they've increased capacity in the holy cities from hotels. There's a new airport being built. The Haram Rail infrastructure is already in place. It's about British companies now understanding the needs of British pilgrims, looking at what's available in Saudi Arabia and offering these services to the pilgrims when they go for Hajj and Umrah. So ultimately they get a very positive Hajj and Umrah experience. And for us to be part of this whole setup, representing British pilgrims, but also now working with the Chamber in Makkah and also the British Consulate. Let's not forget the hard work that they do back in Jeddah to facilitate all the different stakeholders to come together to deliver a brilliant service. And we'll see that over the course of the years. And this is, like I say, a historic achievement, a historic moment for us to break ground in Saudi Arabia. And it can only be a success moving forward.
Inshallah, we pray Allah accepts that, and it really facilitates those movements forward, because the sincerity and the intention is there for not only for yourselves to improve your services that here you're providing, but also the overall experience that all pilgrims are experiencing, which is of course noble intention indeed. I had a question with regards to in terms of, like, you had this Vision 2030. So is the idea that by 2030 these improvements will have been made and then you'll set new visions, or is it just that you are working towards something that will start to come to being from 2030 onwards? Which way are we moving? Are we moving towards 2030 or beyond 2030?
So the vision's actually from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's the government of Saudi Arabia which has put this vision forward, and they've already started working towards that. So by 2030, they would have achieved a series of different achievements, from leisure to commercial to, and one of the biggest one, obviously for us, is going to be Hajj and Umrah, to increase pilgrim numbers to 30 million by the year 2030. So, and that's already started. We've seen huge numbers increased from the UK. 2016, we saw around 75,000 British Umrah pilgrims. Last year, it went up to just over 100,000. Similarly, for Hajj, we saw 19,000 in 2016. We saw around 26,000 last year. So the numbers have started to increase, and it's fitting in perfectly with what Saudi Arabia is doing in terms of hosting the guest of Almighty Allah. And we wish them all the best and thank them for the infrastructure and the services that they provide to not only British pilgrims, but pilgrims from all around the world.
MashaAllah. And if I might come to CBH UK now, if you can tell us a little bit more about the committee and when it was set up, and what the overall purpose of the CBH UK is, so that people who are watching, maybe who've never heard of CBH UK, or maybe not had the interactions because they maybe just deal with their Hajj agents or their Umrah agents, what role and function do you play, and how might that plug into supporting their needs?
So CBH UK was founded in 2006. And its main aim is to work for the welfare of British pilgrims, and we do that by working with stakeholders, tour operators, service providers, to make sure that they deliver and work to providing a really good service for British pilgrims. When things do go wrong, and sometimes they do, there's all sorts of issues around travel fraud and people not getting what they were promised. Then we work with law enforcement, police, trading standards. Now that we work, we've set up the all-party parliamentary group, it starts to lobby government departments to make sure that those that are defrauding or not providing the service are actually brought to justice. So there's a whole range of background work that we do. And in anticipation for Hajj, one of the things that we do is go out into the community. So just after Ramadan this year, after Eid, we hold our first Hajj seminar here in London on the 22nd of June, and we'll work right across the UK into towns and cities where people, aspiring pilgrims for Hajj, can actually come and learn about how to perform Hajj, the rituals, the manasik of Hajj, how to perform Umrah, learn about the health and safety risks and how to mitigate them, and generally get up-to-date travel advice. So when they go there, they're prepared mentally and also physically, because it's a physical journey as well, and get the best experience when they're out there. And for more information, they can just go on our website, cbhuk.org.
Inshallah, thank you so much for really giving a good introduction to CBH UK and very, very comprehensive insight into the work that you're doing with the APPG and with Makkah Chambers and of course USI Money who invited you here today. Do you have further interest in working with USI Money further beyond today's event?
We've been working with USI Money for a number of years now. They are one of our sponsors, and the services that they offer, not just for people going for Hajj and Umrah, but just general public in terms of money transfers, is second to none. I use it personally, works fine, and I probably encourage, and it's a little bit of a shout out to our sponsors, to try their services. But most importantly, the background work that they do is mainly facilitating the payments for the tour operators, UK tour operators who need to make payments for hotels, services, and contracts when they're in Saudi Arabia. And the company behind it is USI, and they do a remarkable job, and they serve the industry in some shape as well. So good luck to them, and wish them all the best.
Thank you for giving us your time, and I know it's been a busy afternoon for you, so maybe let you go put your feet up if that's possible.
It's not possible. We fly out to Makkah in just a few days, so the preparation for Hajj starts, well, it started after last Hajj, but the work continues, so there's no rest at the moment, unfortunately, but we're looking forward to being in the Holy City in the next few days and starting to pick up on the things that we've discussed today and start to work with our counterparts in Saudi Arabia in the run-up to Hajj.
Leading the delegation was the chairman of the Mecca Chamber of Commerce, His Excellency Mr. Hisham Kaki.
Tell us, how did the event come today and what brought you to the UK?
It was a great event. We are coming from the Mecca Chamber, 34 different businessmen and businesswomen coming here to Britain. Actually for the first time from Makkah Chamber, so we are very pleased and very happy to be here. The event today was excellent. Actually, it was a good time to networking and to meet new people in the industry of Hajj and Umrah and some other industries. So we are very happy. Makkah Chamber is one of the big and old chambers in Saudi Arabia. It's 73 years old. We have 33,000 members in Makkah Chamber. Actually, most of them, they work in Hajj and Umrah. Hajj and Umrah now is becoming one of the very important fields in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is concentrating a lot on Hajj and Umrah, especially in the Vision 2030 in these days.
So when you say the Vision 2030, what is that vision? Maybe you can give our viewers a little bit of an insight of what the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are hoping to encapsulate with the 2030 vision.
Well, actually, Saudi Arabia has decided to put a vision, a new vision, actually, with different strategies, and they're working a lot on changing a lot of things and improve a lot of things in Saudi Arabia.
And of course, there's more and more Hajj and Umrah attendees every single year. How are you coping with that as a chamber? Are you finding that you're inundated with requests and work to do, or do you feel like you are coping and you have the capacity?
Well, actually, yes. So we're improving every year, and we're opening new business, concentrating on Hajj and Umrah. We are improving the services as well, improving the experience of Hajj and Umrah every year. So, inshallah, in Makkah, in the next few years, the experience will be enhanced and will be much better than before. And we are willing to see the pilgrims satisfied with the experience of Hajj and Umrah in the next few years.
I'm sure, inshallah, that will be... Okay. Inshallah, I'm sure it will be a great success. I actually went to Umrah last year, my very, very first time, and I enjoyed my experience so much. It was fantastic. So,
very happy to hear that.
Alhamdulillah, I'm sure many viewers will be agreeing. Whenever you go, the hospitality is fantastic.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. So tell us a little bit more about the event today, which was obviously co-sponsored by USI Money. Do you have a good trade relationship with USI Money?
Actually, we were very happy and very satisfied with the event today. It was a great event, great opportunity to meet very nice and very good people. And we are willing to have networking with these friends that we met today. US Money was one of the companies that we met today, and thank you for sponsoring this great event. We had a delegation of 34 different businessmen and women, and they were very happy to meet actually the president of US Money. He offered us actually many services that they have in the company. I'm sure it's one of the biggest companies in their field, and inshallah they will do a good work in Saudi Arabia, inshallah.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 will see annual Umrah pilgrims rise from the current 8 million to 30 million per year.
Now I'm joined by Brother Marwan Shaban, who is the Vice President of Makkah Chambers, but he also serves a very crucial role on the National Committee for Hajj and Umrah in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So let's go speak to him and find out a little bit more about how the event went today at the all-party parliamentary meeting on Hajj and Umrah, and also the work that they're doing in Saudi Arabia.
عليكم السلام. أشكركم على الاستضافة. سعيد جدا بتواجدي معكم.
Thank you so much, first of all, for coming and speaking to us about the event that you were part of today at the all-party parliamentary meeting, but also, for the great work that you're doing in Saudi Arabia. How did the event go today, and what was the interactions like at the all-party parliamentary meeting?
اليوم اجتماعنا كان مع البرلمان الإسلامي في مقر البرلمان. كان اجتماع جيد، خطوة للأمام ما بين الجهات التجارية والمهتمين بقطاع الحج والعمرة في بريطانيا. خرج من الاجتماع أكثر من موضوع جيد. أول المواضيع هناك اتفاقية تعاون حتكون بين اللجنة الوطنية للحج والعمرة والبرلمان الإسلامي لخدمة المسلمين الراغبين في أداء الحج والعمرة. المسألة الثانية، على هامش اللقاء التقى رجال الأعمال من المملكة العربية السعودية ومن غرفة مكة مع نظرائهم في مدينة لندن أو من غير لندن في المملكة المتحدة، لبحث سبل التعاون فيما بينهم.
So tell me a little bit more about the role that you play at the National Committee for Hajj and Umrah and just the history of the organisation itself. If you could maybe explain to the viewers how long it's been running for and what support services you provide.
اللجنة الوطنية للحج والعمرة هي جهة تعتني بتجار العاملين بمجال الحج والعمرة. يعني تحاول دائما تقدم دراسات وبحوث حول أعمال الحج والعمرة، تحاول تدعم الأعمال، تحاول تعمل التنسيق ما بين العاملين في المملكة العربية السعودية ووكلاءهم في خارج المملكة، تحاول تقدم تصور عن الارتقاء بخدمة ضيوف الرحمن.
So obviously the National Committee of Hajj and Umrah is a very important function, clearly. But when was it set up? And again, what was the significance of the purpose behind setting it up? What happened? Or was there an incident that happened, or certain recognitions that happened that made you think we need to instill this infrastructure, this organisation?
اللجنة الوطنية للحج والعمرة في شكلها الجديد الآن هذه الدورة الثانية لها. الدورة الثانية أكملت الآن 6 سنوات ورايحين في السنة السابعة. طبعا التشكيل الأساسي للجنة منذ انطلاق أنظمة وزارة التجارة، ولكن التشكيل الجديد له 6 سنوات.
Of course, pilgrims in the UK watching right now are looking forward to going to Makkah and Medina to spend their Umrah in Ramadan there. I was just wondering whether the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has to increase the number of services that it provides over that period, or are you ready and willing to welcome them right now as it is?
يعني المملكة العربية السعودية على استعداد طول العام لاستقبال ضيوف الرحمن. ما في شك أنه مكة والمدينة تستقبل أعداد أكبر في شهر رمضان، والاستعدادات لرمضان أكبر للخصوصية والرغبة الناس إنهم يعني يكونوا في مكة والمدينة في هذا التوقيت، لكن احنا على تم الاستعداد والحمد لله كل الأمور جاهزة ما شاء الله. توسعة الحرمين ممكن تستوعب أعداد كبيرة، الخدمات كلها متوفرة، البنية التحتية جيدة. ننتظر قدوم الضيوف وإن شاء الله ربنا يكتب لهم العمرة والزيارة والحج بكل سهولة ويسر.
Saudi Arabia's general income is directly influenced by the Hajj and Umrah sector.
And now we're going to speak to another member of the board of directors of Makkah Chambers, Ustad Mazen Ghazi Darar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you for joining us and spending a few minutes of your time. I know it's been a busy day. You've had a lot of activity already at the House of Lords, but you're spending a few minutes here with the Islam channel, so thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
How was today's event?
It's pleasure to meet our brother here in UK, and inshallah we will. It will be a good opportunity to with the Parliament of British Parliament and Saudi Chamber of Rome.
And did you enjoy the discussions that were had today at the House of Lords? Were there interesting discussions that you feel are positive for the future of the trade ties between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the United Kingdom?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. It was very. I'm so sorry about my language. It was, alhamdulillah, a very good meeting with the British people here in UK.
Okay, perfect, mashallah, alhamdulillah. I'm glad to hear that it's been a productive afternoon. It's always good to know that it's been a productive afternoon. Just a little bit about your role at the Makkah Chambers and how long have you been serving there and so on?
Alhamdulillah, I was serving in Makkah Chamber before 14 years ago. I was in the board before 2 years ago. I'm now in the Chamber of Makkah before 14 years ago. So inshallah we're looking together with with my brother in Makkah Chamber to create a new business with the British company here, inshallah.
Inshallah, we hope so. So how's your stay been in the UK so far? Are you enjoying the weather or are you wanting to go back for the good weather in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia?
We enjoyed the weather very much here. Yani. It's too cold for us here. But we will enjoy it.
Alhamdulillah. We hope that you continue to enjoy your stay. You're here for another 6 more days. Do you have more meetings set up and more discussions?
Yeah, inshallah, we will meet Chamber of Arabic Chamber here in London, and also we have to visit Cadbury factory chocolate here. Yeah, and also we have to go to Birmingham to visit. Tourist company there in Birmingham, and some B2B business meeting.
Inshallah, we hope that goes very successfully. Obviously, you've been invited here to this particular part of the evening by USI Money, who were also co-sponsors of today's event. Do you have any few words about the welcome that you've received by them?
USI Money, inshallah, I'm planning with Mr. Nadeem to open a new branch or take franchise in Saudi Arabia and another Arabic country to transfer the money and Hajj and Umrah between these countries and Saudi Arabia.
Inshallah, of course, USI Money is a remittance organisation, so I believe that they're probably one of the strongest within Saudi Arabia of doing so. So we hope that goes very well and successful. Again, just going back to just the Hajj and Umrah services that Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have been providing for many, many years, of course. What can pilgrims look forward to? What are you ready and more than happy to welcome them once again this year?
Sure. Hajj and Umrah, it's my own business. So I'm too happy to help most of Hajj and Umrah. I serve every year guest of Minister of Hajj before 24 years ago. Even guest of Holy King Salman. Before 6 years ago, I served these people in Hajj. So Alhamdulillah, I feel happy when I serve the pilgrims, because when I serve these people, Allah He will give me.
Basically, USI Money is truly honored to be hosting our highly esteemed guests from Saudi Arabia, the Makkah Chamber of Commerce delegation, here in our offices here in the UK.
So tell us a little bit more about USI Money's vision and of course for people who maybe were watching and who have come across the name but not really understood the purpose of the organisation, if you can give viewers a little bit of an insight into what USI Money does and its involvement.
Yeah, USI Money is basically a UK-based financial institution, a private UK financial institution in the UK. We specialise in cross-border payments around the world, but primarily to Saudi Arabia for Hajj and Umrah related payments. We are one of the largest payment service providers from the UK to Saudi Arabia. We have over 350 customers, corporate clients in the UK, and we have, alhamdulillah, we have around about 80% market share in this sort of payments to Saudi Arabia from the UK, which is, alhamdulillah, very good, big achievement over the last few years.
And how long have you been in operation for?
We've been in operation for about 14 years now. We started with issuing Hajj drafts. We've now progressed to payments, corporate payments, and home remittance payments. This event has actually given us an opportunity to further understand the local developments in Saudi Arabia, and also for them to understand the work we do here in the UK.